Hello, Loven here with some interesting news that you've already probably heard about. Byte Breakers, Odyssey Interactive's new game, has just been officially announced. Obviously, they are prototyping it and they are not sure whether this is going to be the final form or not. And as such, I just kind of wanted to give my feedback, thoughts, feelings about the game in a really quick short form video. In the background, you'll just see some gameplay footage for me and a friend playing. I wanted to get this video out quick and just kind of put it out there, show off some of the gameplay, what it looks like, give thoughts and feelings. So here we are. First up, I think the idea is cool. I mean, just slapping battle royale on any already existing genre, I think, is an inherently fun idea. I am concerned. Platform fighters are hard to get into. They notoriously have not panned out that well. So I am skeptical that this will. My inherent thoughts right now are that the gameplay is kind of clunky from a platform fighter perspective. I thought it was just me at first, but I have talked to a lot of people and everyone has kind of agreed it felt a little clunky. I'm willing to look past that because that is something I would expect would be polished if this were to get flushed out. And I would imagine that it would feel a lot better to play. Sometimes the feel of a game is really hard to nail down though. Let's talk about the battle royale part of it. Because I think the platform fighter part is less interesting. It plays like Brawl or Smash Brothers. Sorry, I'm gonna get flamed for saying Brawl, aren't I? Help. The battle royale elements were actually really fun. It's really fast paced. You're rarely sitting around doing nothing. There's always something to be looting. There's always somewhere to be going because you're escaping the storm, or you're looking to get to the next place to loot, or you've noticed that there's an enemy nearby. There's always something to be doing, and I really appreciate that. Reviving your friends is a thing that you can do, so it's not just you die, you're out. That's always a good mechanic. The fact that if you knock someone out, you can take their loot, or if you can't get there, it just stays on the body, which means they can revive with all of it, is really awesome. I really like that. The hacks are really powerful and they make you play around the world in a really interesting way. And because you're always revealed when you have it, there's this risk reward element, but they're pretty powerful. And that power, comes with the cost of putting a target on your back. The world's cool enough and it's interconnected in a really interesting way that it's fun to navigate. The utility options you have for roaming the map, whether it's just opening doors or warp pipes or a cannon or a zip line, are all really fun. My favorite part of the map is the shoreline area where you can go and there's like a little Ferris wheel and there's some like weird water slide stuff. It's really silly and I really enjoy it. The storm and how it places and how it generates has proven to be problematic. They have, I think, made it a little bit better than it was, but it's still not great. You can get stuck in some really weird spots where you just can't get to the next place. This happened to me once and I've learned my lesson. You always keep the high ground no matter what. And if it spawns underground, you're SOL. There have definitely been situations where I have been locked out of getting into like the final area just because you have to like open a door and then run through two people to get there, and they're just happy to sit there and wait for you to die. And so the choke points into the storm can be really annoying, as there's sometimes just no other way to go about it. You're just stuck coming through this one-way barrier, right? And you just have to go through. I think that could use some tweaking. Probably more like fluidity and control over where they spawn. But that's a if this project stays alive type thing. I think the important question to really answer and be honest with Odyssey about is how long would I play this game? I think it's worth noting that I don't have a history of being like great or really super enjoying fighters. And I've had a good time with this while I've been playing with friends. I enjoyed it while I was playing with randos the other day. I think I would probably put 20 to 40 hours in this. Like that's where I'm at. I have over 1,000 hours, I know I do, in Omega Strikers. And I'd probably put 20 to 40 in this. I don't see battle royales as skill expressive, and I probably wouldn't be super interested in it in the long term, as I probably wouldn't feel much growth as an individual in it. And I don't think I just enjoy platform fighters in general. So my concerns for Odyssey Interactive and their design choices is that they like to take two genres and blend them, and that seems to be like the way they create games. And I think that creates cool and awesome games, and that is their identity, right? As a company, they even said in their own video, hey, that's what we want to do. And I think that's awesome. I just don't think it's a winning formula. I kind of don't want them to just go out and create something generic, but I also don't want them to flop again too hard. They have their own ship to manage, but I have never been in such support of a company because I just genuinely think the people there are amazing. Like all companies, they're trying to make money, but you know, I don't feel like they do it in evil or malicious ways. In fact, I think the problems with Omega Strikers were they respected the players' time way too much. And they, you know, didn't slap on a whole bunch of daily rewards and rewards for playing a character 10 billion times, and then rewards for getting 10 billion kills, goals, all the things they could have done. I think they avoided it. They didn't add loot boxes. They didn't add any of the, I'm going to call them toxic game mechanics, that they would need to add to make something like this sustainable, right? People don't keep queuing up for Fortnite because it doesn't reward them for playing. It's not just because Fortnite is inherently so much fun to play that they keep queuing up to play it. It's that at this point, it's just hooked. People are addicted to it. It's what they have to do, essentially. And I don't know if this game will bite its teeth into people like that. I have no idea what people who have historically played Smash Brothers and like actually competitively will think about this. What I have heard has just been people think it's kind of clunky. That being said, I know there's a lot of love and a lot of passion for Odyssey Interactive, and I know there are a lot of people who kind of want them to succeed no matter what. And I'm trying to give just kind of a fair retrospective perspective on how I feel about the game as a player, rather than as a person who likes Odyssey Interactive. I found it really hard to learn. In the recent Steam thing, Odyssey Interactive made an awesome video, like the 10 things they wish you knew going into Byte Breakers. Great video. I think that actually taught me more about the game than I knew from the quick read I gave of the wiki and like the 20 game, I don't know if I had 20 games. Let's just call it 10. The 10 games I had played prior to that. That being said, it's fun. It felt easy enough to get into after the first 20 games. But I was able to pick it up with friends who got it after the Steam announcement, and I was able to help navigate them through enough of the early game woes, like the early learning curve, and they were proficient enough at Smash Brothers that we were able to have a good time, and we even got second place once. We would have won, but I'm bad. Oh well, happens. And I think that's it. I don't know how I'm going to chop this up or edit this, but I don't even know if anyone's out there listening to me ramble while just fighting game footages in the background. But I figured I would just put my thoughts and feelings out on the internet as shortly and concisely as I can. And yeah, whatever. Odyssey Interactive, Byte Breakers. It's kind of fun, but I'm worried about its longevity. And that's it. I'm Loven drunk. I think I'm going to stream this game tomorrow. So I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people are streaming it, and a lot of people more interesting and better at the game are streaming it. But I'll be there streaming it, probably having a good time tomorrow. Cheers.